Hi, I'm Sandra Funk, interior design entrepreneur turned business strategist. You can find me helping designers confidently run their businesses and stand in their space. I created Design Zips to give you access to my proven methods so you can transform your business too. If you're looking to take control over your business for a life full of balance, abundance, and joy, you've come to the right place.
Beth asks, how do you stop yourself from going down the rabbit hole of social media? I find myself constantly scrolling and comparing myself to other designers.
It is so hard to be out in the world in this Instagram world, right? Where it's all perfect and it's all edited and it's all done up, and not see ourselves as behind, or not see ourselves as, that imposter syndrome, like, oh my gosh, they're going to find out that I'm just really not that good. And it is hard because our world is very visual and we're all right there on top of each other at the grab of your phone, right? So crazy important to stay in your own lane and be your own person. And I know I was struggling with this, and I was like literally telling my coach that I was going to unfollow a bunch of these other accounts because I was like, it's just giving me bad vibes. Like, I just feel like I'm constantly like, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? And my coach, of course, was like, or we could level ourselves up above comparison instead of taking away. It's like taking away the cookie instead of learning to not eat the cookie because you don't really need the cookie. So that is my true test, is to leave all those accounts in my scroll and still feel good about myself. So we're gonna really talk through some of my techniques to do that, and Sarah's gonna lead me through it because they're detailed and
There's many.
So let's dig in, because yes, I'm there too. We all go there. One of the big things that I know, I've just researched, working with my coach, reading on the subject, is that like 70% of humans deal with this feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm not where I should be in my field, or I'm not up to snuff with the other, bankers, designers, tile installers. You do you, right? Like, we all have it. We all look around and go, how come I'm not where he is, right? So it's not rare. It's not something that doesn't come and go and then come back again and need to be like put back in its place. So yeah, let's tackle it head on.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so why don't we start with the role that self-talk plays in all this?
Huge, right? So again, it's that thing of seeing some amazing, seeing some scroll, driving by some house, seeing the sign out front, your competitor got the big house up on the hill, right? And they're designing away in there, and you're like, grr, right? And it's what do you say to yourself when that happens? Do you say, I should have got that job, I'm not good enough? It's all that noise that we fill our heads with. And someone that I follow loves to say that the human has 80,000 thoughts per day. And I don't know if that's true or how anybody figured that out or not, but I can imagine that that's probably true, knowing the like endless cycle that is running through my head all day. And that most of them are not true. Okay? I think this is so interesting that these thoughts that are going through our head are just that. They're thoughts. They're mostly like what ifs. Like, what if you're not really good enough? What if you didn't get that job because? What if you float ideas, right? And it's the one that you grab and you believe to be true that like matters and sticks with you. Like, somebody might cut you off and you're like, what if? And you're like, blow it off, who cares? Like, right? Like, if you're in a good space, that you should be blowing that off and letting it go, right? But it's the one like that sticks, that you're like, they meant that, they're out for me, like if you let it stick, it can really mess with your head. So self-talk, it's really important to recognize that there are a lot of ideas that come at us and not all of them are true. And then really important is to fill your head with the ideas that you choose, instead of just letting whatever comes up fill your space. So our ego is naturally negative, okay? It is like a evolutionary pain in the ass that we are stuck with. until we evolve out of it, or maybe we're stuck with it forever because we need it, right? But the ego is there to tell us, careful, don't go too close to that cliff. I don't know if you should eat that berry. Like, that looks like a really dangerous saber-tooth tiger. And it comes from our needing to be out in the world, experiencing things, and not walking in front of a bus, right? It is going to be primarily negative because it is there to watch out for you. It's there to put those 80,000 thoughts running through your head, and they have to be like, that might not be a good idea. Maybe you shouldn't do that, right? They're negative because they're making you be careful. Can you imagine a world where we just are like, ooh, yummy poison berry. Oh, pretty tiger. Like, oh gosh, the Grand Canyon looks so beautiful. I'll swan dive into it. Like, without this barrier, without this hesitation, you can imagine our race may have not survived all this time. But now we know, we have evolved so far, that the negative thoughts are, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not there yet, right? Like, we already know what to eat and not to go diving over the edge of the Grand Canyon. So this natural evolutionary negativity is coming at us all day long, and it's not helpful.
Do you find yourself creating exceptional design work, yet still struggle to run the back end of your business? If so, check out my signature program, the Interior Design Standard, to unlock all the tools needed to transform your design firm. Everything you need to run a profitable business all in one place, from contracts and pricing calculators to templates and scripts. Take the leap and join designers across the world raising the bar for our entire industry by enrolling in the Interior Design Standard.
Did we talk about when the clients can kind of feel if you're not the expert that they hope to hire and that confident piece?
Yes. So when you are willing to negotiate, or you're addressing objections that the client hasn't even made yet, right? You're putting out your numbers and immediately, defending them before they even ask a question, or using things like a discount to try to get in with potential clients. You are taking away your own power. You are taking away from the expertise that they are looking for. So we go to a lawyer, a doctor, our CPA, any sort of expert services, which you are. That's what you are. You are an expert service. You are a luxury. Anyone can furnish their own home. Anyone can go to Pottery Barn and pick out a perfectly delightful suite of furnishings and have a functional home, right? Anyone can do that. There's a lot of retail out there that has free design services. Totally doable. When they reach out to you, they are looking for your expertise. They are looking for a luxury service. They are looking for more than someone to help them make sure their furniture is going to fit. They're looking for someone to translate their personality, aesthetic, brand, whoever they are, into their home. That is a very, very specialized skill set. It comes with a lot of schooling and a lot of time in the industry and a lot of different trades and pieces and CAD work and color theory and the ability to work with materials and people and trades and vendors. It is such a complicated and wide industry. For you to even consider not being confident in your fees and not being 100% like standing in your space when it comes to how you present those fees and what you charge is just tearing down the expert that you are. If you are even in business, if you are even in this industry, your expertise is far beyond what the client can do for themselves. And that service is luxury, and they're looking for luxury. And so you need to give them the expertise that they're looking for and that confidence that they're looking for. And being confident in your pricing is a huge piece of that, of really leading them. Because they want leadership. They want, just like I go to a lawyer because I want them to tell me what to do, they come to a designer because they want you to tell them what to do, right? You're taking them into consideration, of course, but they need your leadership in this. And so they need your confidence because leaders are confident. It's just the way it is. Someone told me, one of my amazing coach told me this Picasso story, and I love retelling it. I have no idea if it's even accurate, but I love it. And it works for me. Picasso's walking down the street, it's Paris. He's walking by one of those gorgeous little bookstore kiosks, and there's a bridge up ahead, and there's all the gorgeous lights of the city, and he runs into a fan, a super fan, who literally runs up to him and stops him in the street and says, "Would you please, I would pay you whatever it takes, would you sketch me? It would be my honor. Oh my gosh, I can't believe my luck at running into you," right? So Picasso says, "Yeah, oh yeah, okay, yeah." So she rips a page out of the little book that she just bought from the bookseller, and he, takes her pen, and he takes a minute, and he looks at her, and he sketches something, and looks at her, okay, signs it, and he hands it back to her, and he says, "That'll be $5,000. And she's like, "Excuse me? I mean, what? That took you 2 minutes. That's, like how he does that, like interpretive, like a line and it's your face." And he said, "Yes, darling, but I'm Picasso." That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's not about the amount of time it took him. It's about the brilliance inside. It's about the artist that you are and the mix that you bring. So.
Hey, are you struggling to attract dream clients? Imagine confidently choosing who you work with rather than hoping that they find you. Introducing the Client Attraction Formula. The formula includes 6 comprehensive modules full of proven client attraction strategies, marketing templates, and resources, all with lifetime access, designed to help you attract your dream clients. If you're ready to go from unknown to irresistible, then the formula is for you.
Susan asks, what are the attributes of a 7-figure mindset? So here's what we're going to talk about. You have to know when to save versus knowing when to spend. So we kind of have touched on this a little bit. But while I'm a big fan of filling the coffers and, kind of making sure that I'm not, I've got money set aside. I've got what I like to call oh shit money, right? I like to have enough money that if something crazy happened, I could carry the business for 6 months, let's say. Now, there's this crazy thing called 2020 where maybe you need 18 months. I don't know. But in all seriousness, you do need to have money set aside for those things in life that happen. People have children, they have parents. There's, maybe you have to move because your spouse's job moves you and you have to, kind of figure out life. Like, things happen, right? So when you get to that place of profitability that you can start to stockpile some money aside as a safety net, do so, okay? Then if you have more than you need in the safety net, the oh shit fund that I like to call it, now you've got money set aside in your business, right? You haven't paid yourself out and you don't owe it to anyone else. You don't owe it for payroll. You don't owe it for taxes, what have you. So now you start to have some money set aside in your business. Now you need to be thinking about, what do I want to do better, different, etc. So here's where you invest back into your business. And a lot of times that investment is back into yourself, right? It's furthering your education. It's bringing in an expert. It's bringing in a team member that you can delegate to, all the things. So knowing when to save and when to spend is really 7-figure mindset, and really thinking about it strategically, and not just saying like, oh, I've got, cash in the bank, let's book a trip, but saying I've got cash in the bank. This is going to be earmarked for that. This is going to be earmarked for that. Here's how I'm going to take this little business, and in 2 years, it's going to be this big business because I am going to invest in myself. I am going to grow this business, and here's how. So that's how you go up the chain.